guys. Welcome back to Truth Talkin' Thursday. This is Jim. I'm Jane. And we are very excited to be back.
Yes, we are.
It's been a while. And I've missed bugging Jim. So...
And she got really good at it, too.
Wow, that's hurtful. So, we've got a question. So, I ask you, you ask me, whatever. I'm wondering how you sort through what value you place on what is important in your life.
Do you want me to answer that?
I would like you to answer that.
Wow.
Because I feel like that will give me great insight into how I proceed from this moment forward.
There you go. I think, first of all, we have to ask ourselves, why do we place such a high value on certain things? I mean, outside of the basic things, like Jane always said, personal health, obviously that's a priority. Making sure family is safe and secure, that's a priority. Those are all the basic things, but I'm talking about personal goals, for instance. Just we seem to place out of unreal value or expectations on certain things that we think we need to take care of in order for us to do what? And we get so stressed in the process, and we get so out of sorts in the process, and we take it out on people that are around us that we love and we care for, because we're wound up so tight that we can't get anything else happening and all that kind of thing. And it's just and what comes to mind here when this happens, or when it happened, and I can only speak from a personal point of view. When I was challenged recently with some issues that were uncomfortable, for sure, I had to stop in my tracks and ask myself, if this happened tomorrow or if this happened next week, do any of these things matter? Do any of these so-called priorities that I had established for myself, do they really matter? And how much do they matter? And why do they matter so much when in essence, maybe some basic, simple life experience, like going for a nice walk on a warm, sunny day, is more important to do. So we don't take time for those things because we think that they're not productive and that we're not getting ahead. For me, I really had to sort of sit down and reevaluate all the things that I used to think were priorities and important. And I came away from that experience by saying, you know what, it's not.
You know, I think there's a lot of things that affect what we deem to be important. And I think you're right, Jim, in that, you know, often the biggest impact is made on our lives when something happens to actually make us think, and think well. I think life happens and it sucks us into the vortex of performing and making decisions based on, you know, what we feel is supposed to be important, what others think. And I think it's really unfortunate because by doing that, we aren't thinking for ourselves anymore, and we can't possibly be being true to ourselves then, and making it hard for us to even be able to reach for the goals and dreams that Jim mentioned. It's natural and normal for us to have dreams and goals and expectations and things that we would like to do and experience and on and on and on. But the bottom line is what is important. I mean, we are responsible for ourselves, but it's not just our physical person, it's our mind too. And that, for me, I think is the biggest challenge. Yeah. It's my mind. You know, like, I mean, sure, I could stand to lose several pounds. And, you know, that's a work in progress for me. I'm working on it. But there's a balance there too. You know, you can't, it's funny. My trainer gets after me because I will push myself harder than is healthy. and I won't stop. There was a challenge that she gave me. and
how did we do?
Oh, we did great.
Okay.
We did great. We did the challenge. But here's the thing. There's 5 exercises that you do 5 times over. Well, you're supposed to take a break in between each round.
Not Jane.
Not Jane.
No.
Jane just powers right through them. And she laughed at me because at the time I was doing that challenge, I had also taken on another challenge. So I would like split it up and do each challenge, and I was just ruined. I was just so sore. And she says to me, so what day did you take for your off day? Off day? What?
There is no off day.
Okay, well, your body needs a day to heal, at least.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I'm doing myself a disservice by thinking, okay, well, I'm going to fast track this and just kick my own butt into seeing results. Well, you're not going to see results if you end up kicking the crap out of yourself and you can't do anything.
Yeah. One of the things that came to my mind as you were saying what you were saying there was, if we take a look at money, money's important. Obviously, it's important. It's how we pay our bills. It's how we provide for our families. It's how we recreate. It's all that kind of stuff. But what are we willing to really do for money outside of that? I mean, that's the priorities that we're talking about here. We give money such a value that we forget about the things that we're doing it for. And it may sound kind of convoluted. It's not really when you think about it. We need X number of dollars to provide a living for our families and for ourselves. And so that we can take a day off and we can recreate, we can relax, we can do whatever we want to do that day, and we don't have to worry about paying bills. What is it we're really willing to do and to sacrifice for the priorities that we've established for ourselves in terms of accumulating wealth or money?
That's a very good question.
And those are the things that I think we need to, and I think that that's what we're talking about here is we need to make sure that we don't have that out of perspective, because if we do, we'll ruin ourselves. And we won't be true to our families, the very people that we love the most in the world. We're going to alienate them because we're always working, we're always tired, we're always going here, we're always going, and we don't, because it's a priority, because if I do this, I can make that. And so that's what I'm saying. We need to sit down and reevaluate how we choose to live our lives now.
You know, here's a question. Just because you can, does that mean you should?
That's a biggie.
And I think that's what I tell myself a lot. Yeah. And I realized when I went to journal at the end of the day, I started my journal by saying, I didn't accomplish anything today. As I was writing, I realized you're wrong. You did accomplish something.
Absolutely.
You accomplished a huge thing. For you to sit there for sit. I mean, I twitched. I don't sit still very well. Nope. So there was some, wiggling of the legs and the knees and the feet. But I did sit.
Yep.
That's huge for me.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. It's a real skill, actually. It really is a skill to be able to sit and do nothing, because you're doing something when you're doing nothing.
You are. And I'm a work in progress in that. And I think we all are. I think we could all do with taking some time just to quietly sit and think about where we really are, where we want to be, where we need to be. I think that, and those questions have to be asked not with the intent of gaining an answer of expectations from others or expectations from yourself. Just pure, honest, are you where you want to be?
Yep.
So have a great week, everybody.
Thanks for stopping by.